So in this video we'll be creating some pieces to use for our Automata box. We'll be creating the camera rod, a camera rod stop, and a camera rod cap. So first we'll start with the camera rod. Pretty simple piece. We're in a part file. You start 2D sketch, and I'm just going to put it on my XY plane. Camera rod's pretty simple to make. The one I'm going to make is going to have a 0.25 diameter, so I'm just going to type in 0.25 for my circle and hit enter, then finish my sketch and extrude that circle out. In this case I'm going to make mine 7 inches long, so I'm going to type in a 7 and hit OK. Lastly, I'm going to change the material. I'm going to change it into a wood, so I'm going to change it to a wood, a cherry wood. That's all I have to do for this, so I'm going to save it as my camera rod. So file save as, and I'm going to name mine camera rod. Once I have my camera rod, I'm going to start a second part. So I'm going to file new, standard part, and hit create. And now I'm going to make a rod stop. Or I'm going to make my rod cap first, and then the rod stop. Rod cap's going to be a pretty simple piece to create. So again, I'm going to start with a 2D sketch. I'm going to put it on the XY plane. And I'm going to start with a circle. I need it to fit around my rod. Since I'm going to put it around the rod, I'm going to make it slightly larger. So my last one was 0.25. So this time I'll make it 0.27. So I'll type in 0.27 and enter. And then to make the outside of this cap, I need a slightly larger piece. So I'm going to go slightly larger than that, and I'm going to go 0.27 plus 0.05, and that gives me 0.32. So that gives me my outside shape. So I'm going to finish that sketch. I'm going to extrude this out 0.25 or 1/4 of an inch. 0.25, 1/4 of an inch, and hit OK. So right now I have what's going to be my rod stop. It's going to go on the side with my handle, and I'm going to again save this. So I'm going to save this as my rod stop, and I've already made one, so I'm going to name it rod stop 2. Then I'm going to do another save as, and I'm going to name it rod cap 2. And I wanted to save it again as a rod cap. That way I still have my original rod stop, and now I also have a rod cap. On this rod cap, I'm just going to add a cap to the end of this. So I'm going to start 2D sketch. I'm going to put it on this edge, and I'm going to make it the overall diameter of 0.32. So I'm going to make that my 0.32 also. And I'm going to extrude it, and I want to extrude it the opposite direction of what my object is. So I'm going to extrude. I'm going to click on that circle, and I want to extrude it. I only need to go back a little bit, 0.05 should be plenty. And that just puts a cap on the end of this. So now I have a rod cap, and I want to save it. Since we already named it, I can just click on the save button. And I had to have a rod cap. So I have those 3 pieces I'm going to use. Next, I'm going to add work planes to each of them. I need these work planes so when I rotate the object, I can rotate it all at the same time. So I'm going to first kind of do this like we did when we added our cams. I'm going to put a work axis first. So I'm going to do work axis through center of the circle, and that puts it through that line when I click on the circle. Then I'm going to put a point on there, so I'm going to do a point at the intersection of plane, surface, and line. Click the plane and click my line. Then I'm going to expand out my origin, and I want to do a work plane that's going to be parallel to a plane through a point. So I select that option. I first need to select my plane. Any plane of symmetry that's going to cut through the object works, so I'm going to use the YZ in my case, and then I click on my point, and that gives me the work plane I want. Then I select save. Then I'm going to do the same thing for my other 2 pieces. So I already have my camera rod open, so I'll do that one next. Same process again. I'll go pretty quickly this time through center of circular or elliptical edge. I click on the edge of my object, point, intersection of plane. I click the plane, I click my line, and I put it on that line. if I selected the right option. And that gives me my point. Then I expand out my origin, and I do plane, payload of plane to a point. I select the plane that intersects it, and then I select my point. And I save that camera. Then I have to open my stop, so I'm going to find my rod stop 2, and I'm going to open that. And same process again. So first I want my axis through the center of a circle, so I select that. Then I add my point to it, select the face, and then make my point. Expand out my origin, do my plane, payload the plane to a point, select one of the planes that intersects through it, and then select my point. And there's my cam stop. So that gives you 3 of those pieces. I'm also going to have a rod handle. I'm not going to show you how to make that handle. It's up to you if you want to make a handle on how you want to orient and create that handle. But I'm also going to use a handle in our next video where we put all of these into our Automata box. Hopefully that helps you create those simple pieces, and good luck.